And now let's kill some time while I decide what I'm actually going to be doing next. Because everything I've tried to play through has had some problem with it, be it controller failure or lack of sufficient hardware. So while I get things sorted out, I decided to play through a silly little Flash game that I used to play through when I was in college and high school and all that. The Last Stand. Because even by then, zombies were an overdone thing. Still, this is a fun little game. Now you can you can restart on night one with no problems because the waves of zombies, they all contain all the same zombies, but they all spawn in differently. So you can have a pretty bad time depending on how they spawn in. Night one is the only night you get to re-roll that without penalty. So feel free to do so. I certainly did. So the point is, you have a barricade. That barricade has 100 health. And if that thing goes down, you're pretty much done for. You can fend them off, but if they touch you, once that barricade is down, it's game over. And you can repair it between days like that. You saw the time allocation thing. You can repair at 5% per survivor, yourself included. You can look for survivors, and you can look for weapons, which fills a little weapon meter. So this game starts off harder than it will end up, even though the waves will get bigger and bigger. Because you're just able to repair the barricade more easily with more people. Like, survivors in this game are important because they buy you more time by fixing your barricade more efficiently. Like, if this was a night one scenario, this would have been a restart, but because I have 2 more bodies with me, I can recover from this. You know, so long as I find a better weapon soon, I can recover from all this. And the weapon find meter is pretty full, so looks like I will be finding a weapon. I just have to do the math in my head. 16%. We'll spend 4 hours repairing it. 15% per hour. That'll get it back up to 77%. I think that's what it said on the side there. And our next weapon is a revolver. 6-shooter. More powerful than the standard pistol, but you have to reload it after 6 shots. Still, it is superior. Because the reload time isn't that long, and it does a crap ton more damage. But this is the game. You know? At this point, you're going to be seeing a bunch of the same. I'm wondering how insane I'm going to go trying to come up with shit to talk about. And you get to see my terrible aim. You know, he's holding up like an M16 in that little picture in the background. Why don't we have that when we're actually, fending off the hordes of undead? It sure would be nice. Actually, there is one in the game. It's one of the last couple weapons you can find. I never go that far. I don't show off every weapon in this game. I stop at a certain point because once you have your preferred loadout, so long as it's, not any of the last few weapons, you can just sit back and be comfortable. You and your 6 friends against the undead, just repairing what damage was done before and not having to search. Because the thing about searching is you have 12 hours to allocate to doing things. 1 hour per action, basically. The more time you spend outside the barricade, the more time you're not repairing the barricade and instead searching for things, the higher chance your fellow survivors have of dying during the search. So you can lose survivors. It's what makes it hard to find those last few weapons. And we finally found a new weapon, at the very least. I won't actually have my preferred loadout by the end of this video. It'll be in the next video that I do that, but we finally have an automatic. It's not great, but it's better than what we've found so far by a long shot. And we're starting to run into dogs, the zombie dogs. But yeah, this game is pretty fun. And I play it on a website known as ArmorGames.com. That website, at least as far as it was back when I was in high school and college, was a good website because it wasn't blocked by anything. So you could log onto the school computers and play it there. Either waste time during class or, you know, in between classes, depending on how relevant that particular thing is. But it's a fun little game. As far as, you know, shitty little flash games on the internet go. This one's actually a pretty popular one on Armor Games because it spawns 2 sequels and, of all things, a shitty flash, internet flash MMO based off of it that still sees regular play from its dedicated fan base, so more power to it, I suppose. I do like the first one. I think the first one's great. The second one I will talk about when I get to it, because I have that recorded as well. And the third one is called The Last Stand Union City, and Union City is a pretty solid game, especially for being a shitty internet flash game. Yeah, I just found the shotgun. That's a good backup weapon. It's not a good primary weapon, it's a good backup weapon. You know, it's for fending them off when they're against your barricade. I used to be of the mindset that the automatic was good for the backup weapon, the shotgun was good for the primary weapon, but I've changed my tune. I've changed my tune. It could have been the second game in this series, but no, I've just changed my ways since I used to play this game. I was also a stupid teenager, so, you know. I thought shotguns were cool. Fully automatics. That'll help for when you need to kill them all fast and mow them down, but shotguns are cool. And it's true, shotguns are cool. They're better for those close encounters. Now here I'm going to do something that might not make sense. As you see, there's no vacancy, but I'm searching for survivors anyway. As I said, you can lose survivors while searching, so maybe dedicate a little bit of time to finding anything that might cover any losses. It's not guaranteed, but it's saved me more times than it's hurt me doing that. As far as the zombies go, there are typical zombies, they're just shambling. There are fat zombies, which take a lot more punishment. There are runners, which obviously are just faster and get to your barricade faster. And there are dogs, who in this game just suck all around. See, that's what the shotgun is useful for, but you have to be careful. Reloading the shotgun is a little awkward. Because of this. This is how it reloads. It's one shell at a time, just like it would be, so. Hooray for that. There is infinite ammo otherwise. Because the point of the game is just to defend the barricade, not resource manage your ammo. There's a bit of time management to it, but now you'd think that the chainsaw would be the ultimate backup weapon. I don't like it. Its reload speed is just way too slow for me to care for what it brings to the table. You're better off with, for now, the shotgun. I'll tell you when I have my final loadout, and I'll explain then why I prefer it. But the chainsaw, I find no use for it in The Last Stand 1. 2, that's a different story. But The Last Stand 1, no, it's not needed here. But that, yeah, again, that's all there is to the game. It's a pretty simple game. You know, as far as things go, it's a really good waste of time, is what it is. Because it's quick, it's simple, it makes sense. It's not a broken mess. It actually plays really well. Oh, and we picked up the sawed-off shotgun. Might as well equip that sexy piece of work. Where was I? But yeah. No, it's a really solid little waste of time if you've got the time. It's, you know, you're not gonna go out of your way to play this like religiously. You know, it only takes about 22 to 25 minutes of playthrough. Oh, and I might want to mention that you probably see some lag happening. So I didn't play this on my normal computer. I played it on an even worse computer for some reason. And, it did not like me recording a Flash game. Because that computer can barely run Flash games as it is. But add that recording device and I started to experience lag. And that did affect the way I was playing somewhat. Not always. It will be obvious. I'm not going to say that every shot I miss or every time I'm doing pretty crappy it's lag. No, it's obvious when it's lag. It's just, you know, it's why there's lag. It's like there that was a bit of lag right there. A wall of fat zombies. I don't have time to explain how the best methods of shooting. I'm running out of time, so I'll explain that next time. But there's a reason I shoot from the top to the bottom. It has to do with how the bullets register, so I'll get into more detail into that next time. Because as the sun comes up, this video ends. I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Don't get eaten. That was lame. I'm sorry.